Hi, this is Heather Smith with GrowRacingTips.com. Welcome to another Q&A Tuesday. This week's question comes from another Heather. She writes, about 6 months ago, I bought a 10-year-old mare. The previous owners just ran, and had her turning on top of the barrel. For the last few months, I have done nothing but slow work on her. Switched her to the right, taught her where to place her feet, moving her way off the barrel and just to relax. She is very forgiving and learned quickly. She does great at home and other pens and has for the most part realized that barrels don't have to be stressful. I have only ran her through a handful of times to check our progress, and she does great. I have since taken her to 2 races and just worked on keeping her calm. However, she feeds off the competition. As soon as she sees a horse run, she gets edgy, and even at 3/4 speed gets darty and short. How do I get her to work calm and smooth away from home? My new plan is to just do slow exhibitions and concentrate on placement of her feet. Thanks for submitting your question. I'm happy to answer this one, especially because I know that there are many barrel racers out there that have experienced very similar frustrations. First off, it sounds like you're doing a lot of things right, and in this video I'll be giving you several more ideas and suggestions that will really help. Most of us realize that for a horse to stay mentally sound in a high speed and high pressure timed event like barrel racing, that we need to take time for developing a high degree of mental and emotional fitness from the start, and then continuously dedicate time to maintaining them in between runs. On top of that, some horses are just more sensitive and insecure by nature, so depending on our horse's needs, we may need to offer even more support. The other important thing to keep in mind is that because of how horses are wired, it's normal for them to feed off the energy around them. It's a survival instinct. This explains the domino effect, for example, when one horse pulls back and they all pull back. So your horse may be a sensitive horse by nature to start with. She may be getting anxiety in anticipation of making a run. She might be nervous when she senses another horse running because her own flight instinct kicks in. Or it's quite possible that all 3 of these things are contributing to the issue. So we're going to approach this issue from a couple different angles. Now, it's ideal for our horses to be confident in 4 areas: in themselves, in their environment, as learners, and in you. If a horse isn't confident in all these areas, by developing confidence in you, it can surprisingly help build confidence in the other areas. I just want to reiterate how powerful this is. When I build a horse's confidence in me, it changes how that horse feels about himself, it changes how he feels in different environments, and can actually make a horse more confident with other horses out in the pasture. When you develop this kind of relationship with your mare, it's really the best gift you can give her, because it's one that keeps giving and keeps on benefiting you as you help overcome her past and as you encounter all kinds of stressful or challenging situations. Now, for our horses to be confident in us, we must communicate with them very clearly and very consistently. We must set expectations for our horse's behavior and require that they honor them. When they get distracted and fearful, a good leader isn't meek and mild. They're brave, and they take measures to keep their herd safe. For example, moving another horse away that threatens your horse. It might mean encouraging your horse's need to move her feet. It may mean disengaging the hindquarters and bringing her attention back to you repetitively. It might mean stepping up and matching her energy, or for a nervous horse who is more withdrawn, it might mean offering a firm yet slightly more subtle form of leadership. What it comes down to is the conversations and interactions you have with your horse every day, in all the little everyday moments that turns you into someone your horse can trust with her very life or not. Becoming the person your horse needs means developing more awareness, taking appropriate and well-timed action, paying attention to the other areas where your horse shows nervousness. For example, my husband's gelding.com seemed to only have trouble in the roping box. But then one day while at the vet, I noticed his whole body shaking, and then I started to notice that he actually gets a little fidgety in the horse trailer. So even though he doesn't act out in extreme ways and is completely obedient, these are still opportunities to address the same anxiety he has in the box, but we can only do so if we are horsemen enough to notice when they are having the least bit of trouble. To help a nervous horse that is more withdrawn, or for those times when moving their feet isn't an option, I might just ask them to take a few steps backward and forward to bring their focus back to me. I might use steady pressure to raise and lower their head or laterally flex them and generally remind them of my leadership. I keep doing these things until I notice a sign of them relaxing, like sighing, sneezing, licking, or chewing, for example, and then I'll really reward that. I'll pet them, I'll let them just relax and rest for a moment. So I'm really making clear that I'm encouraging this state of relaxation. When your horse relaxes, celebrate! Heck, have a party! Now, it just doesn't seem fair that horses seem to pick up so quickly on bad habits, and it seems to take 10 times longer to create new positive habits. So although you're on the right track and have seen some positive changes, for an even greater chance of success in the long run, I recommend that you make the transition back to competition even more gradual and be willing to take even more time, twice as much if necessary, or even wipe any competition dates from your calendar completely and let your horse tell you when she's ready. With horses like this, we tend to progress so much faster when we have absolutely no agenda. When we don't have the pressure of competition weighing on our minds, we're more likely to just be in the moment with them and make relaxation a complete priority. Think of it this way, for the next few months, barrel racing is not your goal. Restoring your horse's mental health is. And when you have a good day, that relaxation you achieve is your victory. Do this and it will eventually lead to victory running barrels as well. Of course, you want to be progressive as you go forward. So you might ride at different friends' houses for a month in addition to riding at home. Think of ways you can start gradually simulating a competition environment by having your friend sprint her horse in the arena, for example, while you work on keeping your horse relaxed. When she's ready, start hauling her to small jackpots and do nothing but just ride her around. If she's not yet confident and if she gets tense and worried, keep making requests to bring her focus back to you, and when she's shown signs of relaxation, give her lots of time to rest, relax, and soak that in. The following month, if everything is going well, start exhibitioning while keeping things slow and correct. You might do this for yet another month. I know this seems really long and painstaking, but if you really want to rehabilitate your horse in a way that lasts, this is absolutely the way to go. Now, it doesn't have to be a cookie-cutter approach. In fact, it's even better to listen to the feedback your horse is giving you as you go. You want to be progressive, but let your horse determine the timelines. Now, I want to make very clear, though, that most important is the rider and the leader you are being along the way. If that aspect of this plan isn't in place, no amount of time and slow work or variety is going to matter if a lack of leadership is the root of the problem. It's not so much the steps you're taking, but the person you are being and the way you're going about all this that matters the most. If you create some separation for your mare so that she doesn't always associate the competition environment with pressure, and if you are being the person your horse needs, she will feel safe, comfortable, relaxed, and confident no matter the circumstances. When you start entering, don't feel pressured to go for the fastest time. Again, build up the speed very gradually, and if you feel your mare regressing, go back and do more of what it takes to get her relaxed again. Also, it's critical that you master the ability to stay calm yourself. Don't forget that competition is when we tend to get a little nervous, and more than any other time, this is when your mare needs you to be brave, confident, and bold. Your horse needs you to be the calm one under pressure. Again, make this a little easier for yourself by releasing any attachment initially to how you clock. It's up to you to set her up for success and positive experiences. Make it your goal to have a calm, relaxed horse and a smooth run without worrying about the time at first. In the beginning stages of this process, what is really a win for both of you is for her to be relaxed. Now, not everyone is willing to go to these lengths. However, it's my hope that with what I'm sharing, fewer horses will end up in this position to begin with. Even though rehabilitating troubled horses can be a long process, I hope that this video helps those who are willing to give these horses a second chance to build understanding, awareness, and skill in a way that creates less frustration and more real, lasting results, and of course, happier horses. Most important again is being aware and noticing the subtlest bit of nervousness the moment it comes up and knowing how and being willing to deal with it anywhere, anytime, as well as just making the journey back to competition a very gradual one, and most importantly, being the consistent, clear, trustworthy person your horse needs to feel comfortable under any circumstances. Follow these tips, Heather, and I'm confident that the time you invest in restoring your horse's mental soundness will be so worth it in the long run. If you've enjoyed this video or know of someone who might benefit from it, please take a moment to share it or leave a comment below. Till next time, remember, what separates where you are from where you want to be is what you do. So don't just take positive action today, but every day. Thanks for watching.